Coming up on today's show,
we will reveal the winner of our first free-to-play community esports club event and also details on our next one.
$100 million, that is the magic number coming out of Epic's pockets.
And Battlefield 5 reveals a Battle Royale mode?
Welcome to episode 4 of the Weekly Patch. Pete, it's so good to have you back on the couch.
It's good to be back on the couch. Thank you, Jay. Yes, I was away the last couple of weeks. I was just doing stuff.
What's on the... There's something new on the screen. It says frequency.
It's frequency.
Oh.
Okay.
What does it mean?
It doesn't matter. It's just... I just feel like it's a little bit more me.
Who's Quincy and what did he do?
Quincy is no one. It's frequency. It's not frequency.
Oh, frequency.
That's enough.
Because you do radio stuff.
You don't... Yes, that'll... Yeah. And you know, clearly do stuff with fireplaces and things.
It's personal, right?
Lord Mantle.
Tell me what's in the news.
All right. So, first and foremost, we have to say a big congratulations to the winner of our first ever community esports club event for Flaktest.
Round of applause.
Ballajura Community College here in WA. We did Minecraft Star Wars event. This was amazing. We set the task for our community clubs around Australia to build us some Star Wars inspired Minecraft places.
We gave them a space and we said, go nuts. Build whatever you want, whatever your little heart's desire. And we got some really cool stuff.
Really cool stuff. The winner of which, of course, being Ballajura, got themselves
Tell them what they won, Pete.
3-month Minecraft server. Thanks to our mates at Streamline Servers, which is really cool. Before we get to them, talk about them, just a couple of honourable mentions. Good Shepherd Catholic College out of Mount Isa in Queensland did a Death Star build.
Oh, awesome.
Yep, and it even had like the laser from the Death Star going through and destroying a planet.
It was this freeze frame thing of like right before the moment of destruction.
Yeah, it was a little aggressive, but very creative, which was really good. The other, Cecil Andrews College right here in Perth out of Seville Grove. Great job showing us their inspired version of an X-Wing. Yeah. Yeah. They had to get a little bit creative as well. You're saying like doors for...
They were using the gate pieces, the end of the X-Wings for like the laser bolts and stuff. Really cool.
Ballajura Community College, again, well done. You've scored yourself the 3-month Streamline Servers Minecraft server for your school. But yes, just amazing. A fully realised interpretation of Hoth Echo Base.
Yeah, man. It reminded me of like early N64 Star Wars games, like that real blocky aspect. You walked into the Hoth base and you're like, oh my god, this is, I'm inside the game.
You could actually get around, you could have a look, because that was the coolest part, going in there.
One thing missing though.
Tauntaun?
Tauntaun. Come on, boys. Next time, Tauntaun.
Lift it. We do have more Minecraft events coming up a little bit later on in the year, but our next massive community event, and I must stress, if you are a Flaktest registered high school around Australia, flaktest.com/season 2018 for all the details, you get to play in these and enjoy these and possibly win the prizes from these for free as well. It's Hearthstone 1v1.
Finally, a Hearthstone game, man. I've been looking forward to this because Hearthstone's a game you don't actually need a PC for.
No.
You can play on your mobile, you can play, I think even some consoles. You can play this game wherever, whenever, even on the toilet, where I do most of my playing of Hearthstone.
That's awkward.
It's convenient.
Never touching your mobile phone ever again. We will release details about prizes very soon, but if you do want to register your school's details to participate in the 1v1,
you go to play.flaktest.com. You can sign up right now, and there's only limited spots, so you need to get on there really quick.
Now, Fortnite, you may have heard of it.
You may be playing it.
You may be addicted to it.
I know I am.
I am staying well away because I have addicted.
Yeah, you'll just play Elder Scrolls instead.
Yeah, that's actually I'm addicted
so much
to that.
better.
So $100 million in prize pool money.
Wait.
Sorry.
$100 million
in prize pool money. Sorry, for those of you that are a little bit young, it's ask your parents about Mike Myers, Dr. Evil, and Austin Powers. They'll learn you.
It's a great movie to watch.
So yes, $100 million in prize pool money. Now let's be exact about this. It's not $100 million for one event, okay? Esports Ready, guys, one event. It is $100 million. But across 1 year, which is still...
It's the first year, so they have to go bigger next year, right?
Absolutely they do. It's still extraordinary. Of course, the most recent one that we can compare that to in terms of big prize pool money is Dota 2's international tournament, which fetches around about $26-27 million.
Which is nothing to sneeze at.
Nothing to sneeze at.
But 100 million?
Huge.
Much more money.
The other thing is that, you know, we obviously are seeing this sort of money from the fact that we've only had major money esports tournaments for around about 7 years now. 2011 was the first one with Dota 2's international.
Relatively new, but certainly not for a game that's so new anyway.
Yeah.
Fortnite's only been out for a little while, and already they're working with figures of $100 million.
They're doing really well. There's actually a Pro-Am tournament coming up that you might want to keep your eye out for that I saw during the week. It is going to partner Twitch streamers like Ninja, for example, with your major NBA players, your sort of football superstars and all that sort of stuff as well. Would love to see like an Australian Twitch streamer partnered with like a really high profile Australian sports star, which would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool. But hey, Fortnite also, last week we spoke about the fact that Red Bull are doing a tournament in Canada.
That's right.
Later in the year.
Yep.
400 Fortnite players.
Yeah.
So 200 duo games.
It's happening. Fortnite's taking over the world. And it is off the back of the Battle Royale genre. And it seems, over the past couple of weeks, if the announcements from AAA developers and publishers are anything to go by, leading into E3 at Los Angeles in June, the Entertainment Electronic Expo, Battle Royale is the flavour of the month for every game to get involved in.
Everyone's doing it, including Battlefield 5.
That's right. Now,
allegedly.
They haven't exactly confirmed that they're going to be doing this yet.
Yeah, but they're not denying it either.
Exactly. One of their senior lead-level designers from the big reveal that happened earlier in the week actually mentioned it would be silly of us to not at least explore the space. And considering that their main competitor in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which we're going to see a lot more of as we lead closer and closer to E3, is pretty much all but confirming the fact that they're going to have a Battle Royale mode, you got to think it's inevitable that that Battlefield's going to have one as well.
It's a bandwagon everyone's jumping on. But we've got some gameplay of the game on the screen right now for you, and you can see that it looks phenomenal.
It does. It looks really good. I got to admit, this is probably the furthest away from the typical sort of Battlefield graphics and gameplay footage that we've ever seen from the previous iterations of the series. You know, you're starting to see a little bit more cosmetic freedom, I suppose you'd call it. The war paint. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. It actually looks a little bit closer to Call of Duty games, particularly for your Black Ops franchises. You know, there's got to be a big nod from there going, okay, we're really going to take you guys on here. But at the same time, we just hope that from what we're seeing now, it's still going to keep that core Battlefield feel about
that realistic Battlefield? People are complaining that this Battlefield doesn't look as realistic as the old Battlefields.
Yeah, right, realistic.
But I mean, you've all seen the gameplay highlight reels where you see the guy in the jet flying along. He jumps out, rockets another jet, parachutes, lands back in his jet. That never happens.
I've been to the War Museum in Canberra.
There's no Purple Hearts for Valor for that.
I distinctly remember seeing something like
John
that.
Smith for Valor destroying 5 jets while parachuting out of his jet.
It's really exciting. We'll keep you posted as we know more. Hey, we've got plenty more of the show coming up, including our feature match of the week. It's Helena versus Hale. We're talking Rocket League here. We're going to be joined by Bizer, Gfinity's own Bizer.
Yes. I mean, he was here a few weeks ago on the couch, and now he's going to be with Gfinity.
Yep. So he's going to be joining me to cast that match very soon, as well as the fact that we got a chance to head out to Nostalgia Box. It is the Gamers Museum of Gaming that you can actually touch instead of just look at as well.
You get to play the games.
Yeah.
You get to be the gamer, and you get to see all the cool stuff they have there.
It was so much fun out there in Northbridge. They opened the place up for us to just basically go nuts by ourselves, which is really cool. Take a look.
Something that I want to. Talking about me, rocking on beat. Talking about walking on my own 2 feet. Oh, you got something that I want to. Talking about me, rocking on beat. Talking about walking on my own 2 feet.
Hey guys, it's Pete Corelli and Jacob Corelli here from the Flaktest gaming team and the Weekly Patch, which you're watching us on right now. And you know what? Once upon a time, museums were reserved for things like
Dinosaur bones?
and also like very old, almost human-looking apes and stuff like that.
Kind of looks a bit like what you've got going on there this morning.
Really appreciate
Yeah.
that. That's really
like
good.
that? I'm so excited though, Pete.
It is really exciting because these days, and particularly with this place, Nostalgia Box in Northbridge here in Perth, WA, there's a new type of museum, and it's the Museum for the Gamer.
It's a museum that we could probably just move into and live here.
It'd be nice.
It's my favourite.
Yeah.
Hey, it opened in 2015, so it's pretty new for a retro thing.
Yeah.
They've got lots of old stuff though. What's the oldest console they've got here? Do you know?
Oh, it's got to be a Nintendo, right?
You'd think so, but it's actually the Magnavox Odyssey. It's from 1972.
Oh,
which
wow.
is like way before even you and I were born.
I don't even think they had video games back in the 70s.
I didn't think they even had TVs back in the 70s. That's how out of
wild.
touch I am.
Yeah, right.
But there is an old Nintendo console. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have. It's this bad boy right here, 1977. It's the first generation. It was called the TV Game 6, and it was essentially Pong, like beep, beep.
No, it had
beep,
more. It had
beep.
Pong. It had extra paddles though.
Oh,
So
okay,
there's
right.
2 sets of paddles per person.
Oh, okay, so it was a real party then.
Yeah, it was
fantastic.
Great. Hey, we'll keep moving backwards because it starts from the oldest console and keeps going back to some of the newer consoles. Now, a lot of these don't make any sense to me, but one thing I have noticed is if they wanted to sell consoles, they was looking at it going, there's too much beige. There's too much of this cream colour. So what did they put on it?
Wood grain.
Wood grain for
Yeah.
days. There's even consoles here that are made from wood.
That was all about the 70s though, the 70s, early 80s. If you wanted to really spice something up, it was all about wood grain.
Dad's car had a wood grain dashboard.
Beautiful.
That was the way to have it, right?
Keep coming back down this way because there's plenty here. Obviously through that period, Nintendo, they joined with Mattel. In fact, Mattel actually owned Nintendo for a little bit around about the time, maybe a few years earlier, as the Nintendo Entertainment System was coming out. And this is where I'd like to start for me in particular, because this is my childhood.
It's a big moment.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. 2 iterations of this came out. There was one where Mattel actually were a part of it and owned Nintendo,
Right.
essentially.
So we
And
could have
then-
got a Barbie doll console?
yeah, like those sorts of things. I guess if they released them these
Like a
days,
crossover?
there'd be a lot of that cross promotion
Yeah.
sort of stuff. But no, this was the original, the best.
Right.
2 types, right? It depends where you actually lived in the world as to what you got. If you lived in Japan, for example, you got the Famicom,
Right.
which was the family computer. Looked completely different to what we got here in Australia, what they got in, like London, UK, what they got in America. Essentially, America, the UK, and us here in Australia all pretty much got the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. Very, very cool. This is like wild memories coming back. It had, far out. It had the original Mario Brothers.
I remember because I never got to play.
Yeah.
Because you were always playing.
I was hogging it, right? My dad bought it,
Yeah.
and he used to get his mates around, and I think I was about 5 or 6 years old at the
know.
time, and it used to be if you die, hand the controller over, and he would always make me go last because I wouldn't
Because you
die.
didn't die.
Nailed it.
Nice. Hey, there's something here that I saw you staring almost longingly for, almost pining for.
Yeah, the Power Glove.
Ah.
Now, the funny thing about this thing is it's so steeped in Nintendo tradition from the early 80s. I actually think the first time I ever saw the Power Glove was in an episode of The Wonder Years, where Fred Savage, who, if you might know Fred Savage, if you're a little bit younger, from Austin Powers movies, he was this guy, Molly. He had a mole on his face, right? But anyway, the original, what he was famous for was that as a kid actor in the Wonder Years TV series, he played Kevin Arnold. And he was the one that the whole thing was around. But anyway, his older brother actually got one of these Power Gloves.
Right.
And was playing it. And it was the coolest thing ever. And then it sort of found its way in the late 80s, early 90s and all that
But it
sort
was
of stuff.
terrible to use though, right?
Terrible to use
Yeah,
because it was
couldn't use it.
literally like your control was on a glove. It was here, and that was where there was like a D-pad there, and along your arm was where all the buttons were, and it was just ridiculous.
Nintendo are always like, what we should do, we should just mess with people completely. Let's bring out a controller that's on your hand. And a few years later, one looks like a TV remote.
Yeah, exactly.
They just don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. Which is great. It's part of the reason why we absolutely love Nintendo. And
Let's
they do a
keep
good
going.
job.
Because
All right.
speaking of Nintendo,
Yes.
I mean, it was also my first console. And I do have a special place in my heart for the N64.
Ah, yes.
And you know what cartridge they have in the N64?
Oh, would there be anything else?
Hands down the best game of all time.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This was the game that I still go back to this game from time to time to have a bit of a bash at it. But God, there were years and many days and many sleepless nights playing the Nintendo 64 and many 1v1s between you and I.
Oh yeah, who can catch the biggest fish?
Yeah.
But also, do you remember me calling you one night and saying, Pete, I've gone through like 15 day-night cycles with Link. He's not turned into an adult. What do I have to do? I was just running around in circles waiting for him to get older.
No, you need to pluck the sword out.
Right.
But you should know that by now.
Well, I know now.
It is a few years down the track, but the Nintendo 64 really changed gaming in the 90s. It came out around about 1996, 1997, and it was the first time that we had proper true 3D.
Right.
We saw iterations of it with the PlayStation. You know, you might see Crash Bandicoot running like into the level and back from the level and all that sort of stuff, changing it up a little bit. But this was the first time, especially with Super Mario 64, 1996, on the Nintendo 64. It was the launch game for the console. Yeah. That was the first time you actually saw proper 3D as we really know it now, although a little bit more polygony.
It was awesome. And don't forget that 15-kilo rumble pack.
Oh yeah, but that was good.
That thing built your arms up.
Man, Nintendo 64 changed people's lives. Every controller we play with now has a rumble pack in it.
I can't just keep looking at these consoles any longer. I need to play one.
Yeah, that's the best part about this place, because you don't just have to look, you can touch. Come with us. The fun part, we picked an old favourite, bit of Tekken that we used to have a bash against each other every now and again.
PS2.
The PS2! Who have you gone?
Pick who you're going to be?
I am going to go Yoshimitsu.
That's exactly who I am. No, I was hoping you wouldn't realise that I'd set my handicap real high.
Come on, man. OG for this thing.
Hey, Pete, I know your birthday's coming up soon.
It is.
And we can come back here for your birthday.
I'm pretty excited because, they do all sorts here, don't they? Birthday parties.
Corporate parties, hens nights,
Bucks nights.
Look, anything. Any party you can shake a stick at. Oh, dude, this is going to end so badly for one of us because... how are we going to know who's who?
I can't even remember. Okay, let's see if I can remember how to even play this game. I don't think it's doing anything. Oh, no, here we go. So it's D-pad. It's D-pad. Yeah, right. And as well as, and the parties and everything, there's a fun little bit of information at this place that if you happen to come and muck around on the games here and get yourself a high score, you go up into the chalkboard. And that stays there forever like it should be, old school arcade styles.
So you keep talking while I keep... Oh no, that one hurt.
No, I think I've got this now. Oh, I'm just going to button mash.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing. Oh, I kicked you right in the shins.
Where's disconcur when you... all you're doing is kicking! Do something else!
Don't need to. It's winning.
No, that's it. I'm button mashing. I'm button mashing.
Oh no!
I'm button mashing.
It's so close. Yeah! Oh! You're dead!
By the way, if you feel like standing upright, there is a heap of arcade machines here you can have a bash on as well. By the way, where's my wallet?
That would be over here with me, Pete. When we came in, you asked me to hold on to it. So when I finish this game of Gallagher, I might give it back to you because there is a ton of swag over there.
Yeah, I've noticed. I'm actually going to need that back. I'm taking this. Thank you very much. This place is a ton of fun. If you're a gamer and you live in Perth or you come into Perth, no matter what age, you've got to come and check it out.
More details available on the website.
What do you think?
Is it me? You're a bit much of a tank for that shirt, Pete.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Wasn't meant to be.
Hey, once again, a big thank you to Nostalgia Box out there at Northbridge here in Perth. It was so much fun, and especially for opening the place up to us for an hour just to run around by ourselves.
It was just us. There were no lines.
That's right.
It was no one lining up to beat you at Tekken because I was already doing that.
Hey, we have got our feature match of the week coming up. I'm purposefully ignoring that, as you can tell. Twitch.tv/Flaktest every Saturday at 12 o'clock AWST is where you can see it live. But if you missed the match yesterday, it's Hale School versus Helena College for Rocket League. Take a look. Hi.
Welcome! Oh, wow. How exciting is this? It's Pete here.
joined by Bizer RL or Bizer OCE, depends what part of his social media you're looking at. Welcome, mate. It's so good to have you along.
I was like, how long have you been off air for?
2 weeks. As you can see, I've been incredibly pumped to get back on the air. Today.
It's like, I'm not even in shot, mate. I need to move over.
I know, so
okay, all right.
let's move it together. Oh.
Do you want a hug? Okay, we can have a hug.
Okay, ready?
mate.
And
Hi.
selfie. All right,
Hi, guys.
guys, welcome to twitch.tv/Flaktest. Today, we're hitting you with Rocket League. It's round 4 of the season 2018. We're so excited for this. Hale School versus Helena College. We got to get straight into this match. But before we do, we have some things to talk about. Because, there's a very, very huge thing happening in Australia for the esports community next week, right? And that is Gfinity is finally here. And you, good sir, are going to be right in the thick of it.
Ooh, yes. I'm excited. I'm excited, like Big Kev would say.
Oh,
Yeah.
ask your parents about Big Kev.
Yeah, if you don't know Big Kev, it goes back to the days, but
We're harking.
yeah.
Now, listen, the reason why I'm saying Buzz is going to be in the thick of it is because recently you were a part of the Challenger Series as a caster for Rocket League. right?
Yeah.
Now, the Challenger Series was everybody who basically wanted to go, I think I can play Rocket League professionally as part of this amazing thing for Gfinity's Elite Series. This was your testing ground, right? So now we're into the Elite Series. That's coming up. That's going to be launching. And you got picked up by Gfinity, and you're going to be casting Rocket League for Gfinity. That's amazing.
Yeah, so Challenger Series was back in January, February, and a whole lot of teams in the scene sign up to Cups weekly and in the competitive and the contender stakes for G points, and they played for the points that would rank them on the ladder and give them a chance to be ranked in a ladder and get them a chance in a draft. And in the draft, they had the potential chance to be picked up by 1 out of 6 clubs. Ooh. And it was interesting to see how the draft worked because the guys didn't understand sort of how it was going to go down. You know, Gfinity being a new thing to Australia, sort of how would it be modelled? Would it be modelled off the UK Gfinity series or whatnot and so forth? And
it came together all right in the end because we have 6 teams around Australia, including a team right here in Perth as well. Ground Zero Gaming, which is really amazing.
Exciting stuff.
So who else is going to be competing out of the teams? What are the team names that are going to be competing in the Elite Series coming up?
So one very important, Chiefs Esport Club. Very household name in esports. You got Melbourne Order, Brisbane Decryptors, Melbourne Avant Gaming, and the Sydney Raw.
Avant Gaming, that's another big name in esports here in Australia as well.
Those two, Chiefs and Avant, are gonna have a big battle. And the two the Brisbane Decryptors and Sydney Raw are the 2 unknown factors out there. What are they going to do?
Well, I'm very pumped to see how it all comes together. And you mentioned that. It was always a question I was going to ask you because you have been following the scene for so long as a bastion of casting when it comes to Rocket League in this country. Can you tell me, who do you think is going to be the one that's going to be taking out top honours down the track as part of the Gfinity Elite Series for Rocket League?
Look, you can't go past Chiefs. It's they enter in. They have the strongest team for Rocket League, and they're going to the RLCS Worlds with the strongest team in Australia. What I know with the first week will probably be missing out on the first round, but come back into it with their strongest team. So I think they will come back and be a challenge for everyone else.
Amazing.
Coming into the playoffs. So, pending on, what happens in the first week for their Elite Series results, I reckon that they will be the victors for the first Elite Series. That's what I reckon.
There you go.
At least.
Okay, we'll heard it here first, and we'll see down the track. Time will tell. Now, the thing that is the most exciting about obviously having something like the Gfinity Elite Series is that it's a proven pathway for professional development for the high school esports students around the country, including those of you who are registered with Flaktest and play as part of the Flaktest season 2018. 2 of those teams, right, that may very well be looking for that professional Rocket League career down the track are playing today. It is Hale School out of WA versus Helena out of WA. And we've chosen something very exciting. Just to reflect the weather that we're having here in Perth, you're going to be playing on DFH Stadium on a wet day here
Stormy.
in Perth. Very stormy.
Stormy.
A little bit of electricity coming down from
Yep.
the heavens.
Yep.
Very ominous sort of feeling. Now, these two teams have something very exciting to play for, and that would be their first win. So we are 4 rounds into this season, and neither of these teams have a win yet.
Pete, did you have a stat for us? You looked up a little earlier in the day.
That stat, I'm not entirely sure which one you're sort of referring to.
One you had a bit of a giggle before.
That they've both not won a match yet?
No, it was the last how many goals the team lost by.
Oh, yeah. No, look, I don't think we have to talk about that, right? No. And like,
I thought for the comedy's sake of it would be funny.
I forfeit commentary on that particular piece.
Okay, all right, fine.
Well, they're yet to play yet. I don't want to bring that into. I don't want to put that voodoo on them. You know what I mean? So anyway,
look, I thought it would be good if they prove us wrong.
okay. Well, prove us wrong, Helena. No, I'm not going to say it.
Okay, all right, no worries.
Okay, let's get stuck into
Thought we'd
this
build a
match.
story.
Let's move across now to the stadium. Twitch.tv/Flaktest is what you're watching on. Don't
Yep.
forget to be across all of our socials as well, because that's where you get all of the updates right across the country. We have some great play coming up for you this afternoon. Not to mention, we also have our Flaktest weekly patch, which we've just put the finishing touches on for round 4 as well. And that's going to be coming to you right here on twitch.tv/Flaktest and at our YouTube Flaktest channel as well. That's /Flaktest Gaming if you want to check that out. That's going to be happening at 10 a.m. AWST for your Sunday as well. We are just seconds away. Can you feel it? Can you feel the excitement in the air? The electricity, Bizer.
You've had too long off the couch, mate.
I have
Seriously.
had so long off the couch. I'm 4 coffees in,
Yeah.
and I'm very excited.
You're lucky I don't drink coffee.
We are just waiting for our teams to be ready at this particular point in time. While we are waiting for them to be ready, is there any particular sort of plays or strategies that you're hoping to see out of these two teams? What is it that they might be able to pick up from the elite players in the esports scene for Rocket League that you're hoping that you see a bit from them?
I think it's strength and defense. Anything you got to take out of Rocket League, if you have a strong defensive line and you move the ball forward in numbers, and then you can attack coming out of a strong rotation, then power and numbers going forward can really set up a good strong attack.
And you've got to, like, is it, for me, now I admittedly don't play a lot of Rocket League, so you are the best one to answer this question. That rotation seems like such an important part of Rocket League. You've got to be able to flex so smoothly, and there's obviously got to be a lot of communication going on between the team as well.
It's a funny thing, as you were saying that, I was thinking communication. You know, the moment you rotate down the same line and you take someone's boost, you know, you're out of rotation and you have to cut across field, or you know, a player misses out the line in terms of going for the ball, and you know, someone's not in the right position, ball's shot for a goal, and the guy's on the other side of the field. Yeah. So you know, it's not, you're not in the right place at the right time.
And then all those other things, you just mentioned that word boost, those boost rotations. You know, making sure you're the first one to the ball before anybody else. We are getting the signal here. We are on standby. Our teams are just about ready to go. Hale School versus Helena College. Far out. Ooh. Ha!
It's like letting a kid in a candy shop for you.
I am a kid in a candy shop right now. I really am. All right. Momentarily away. I like this, by the way. This is nice. Is that you?
Yeah. It's actually was me. Well, we're into our first game, Pete.
Far out. Here we go.
It's the kid in the candy shop. Well, let's let him loose.
All right. On the cast.
Oh, the first goal. Dexter!
It's already started. It has already started, playing off the back of the Batmobile, if you don't mind as well. Dexter into the back of the net. And there was a demolition in there, if you don't mind.
I think that's how you start it. So you take out the goalie who's sitting there stagnant, and this one off the kickoff that hits onto the crossbar and sent out wide.
All right, Rextron missing out there. Here we've got BJ's tracking the ball well now into attack, down the corridor, looking for the back of the net, off the crossbar, and Dexter's going to pick it up now for this Hale School team. He's up the side wall, has lost track of the ball, but sights it up again. That was a beautiful piece of goalkeeping by BJ's. Dean McKay to pick it up in their defensive half now.
Sends it down wide wing. He's inside. Dexter looks to go wide on. And saved out by the goalie. Now looks to move. Just to bounce off. Bailey not able to move. And a whiff from Captain. I believe Captain Panda.
That is Captain Panda. Dexter looking to track the ball. That was again a goalkeeping save for this Helena College team. Captain Panda now looking to track it in. Misses it. It's in the corridor towards the centre of the field. Rex Tron picks it up a little offline towards the goal, and Captain Panda up the backboard as the ball goes the other way. Dean McKay tracking off the backboard now. Can Vol come in? He can't. He's missed it completely. This is an opportunity now for BJ's to bring it into their attacking half, and Rex Tron clears it. Follows up. It's a nice little tip, and it's off the sidebar, but McKay with a follow-up into the back of the net, and that is 2-0 to this Hale School team.
So there was a goalie there in BJ Ace, and he had the reverse, so the goal was open at the end of the day. Had the first opportunity, and the second was there for the shot, the strike coming in with the second.
What a beautiful little celebration off the back of his goal as well, if you don't mind. Flowers and floral arrangements. As we're back into attack now for Hale School. Dean McKay flying, but BJ gets there before he does. It's up the side wall, and BJ's polishing it through the corridor to follow up, and a demolition. It's heading for the back of the net, and BJ scores. That was all BJ's from end-to-end play.
Have a look at the side wall, works it downfield, and, well, does it all himself.
Far
like
out.
He said.
That
BJ
was
Ace seems to be the ace of the team right
ace
now.
of the team so far. All right, back into the centre now. Dean McKay gets the first tap down the corridor. He's riding it up the side wall and grabs a boost on his way through. Dexter trying a bit of aerial play, doesn't manage to pull it off. BJ's is tracking this ball now on the side wall nicely. Into attack by, and then back towards defense by Dean McKay. And he's tracking across the top, sets it up for Dexter, and that's the back of the net, and it's 3-1.
This is brought nicely off the backboard here. Dean McKay gets all the time and brings it inside. Striker there, Dexter, just slots into the back of the net. They go 3-1 up, coming down to the halfway point of this first game. Looking interesting at the moment, Pete.
Best of 5 series into the centre now, and again, Hale School gets the first tap. It's into attack for Hale. BJ Ace looking for a bit of aerial play, but Dexter gets before he does. Again up into the air. That's what you want to see from these two teams. Now they're just sitting in the corner. They're going to ride the sidewall a little bit. Rex Tron looking to play it off, but doesn't manage to get it, and is heading back towards the backboard for Helena College.
Rex Tron's completely cleaned out the defensive line, taken 2. That's opened up defense for the moment, and gets a goal from it. Just wraps around and takes it.
That double demolition, that had to be part of that play there, right?
Yeah.
That's how he managed to get that in.
But then is scrambling back around, Pete, trying to get into position to save. And well, it's a scramble as they pass the halfway mark.
Back into the centre now. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in this first for the best of 5 today between Hale and Helena. It's in defence. Rex Tron completely leaves it behind, but Dexter is there, the captain of this team, to clean it up. He's going to boost it through and try and get past really fast, but manages to knock himself out. BJ getting a demolition there. Dean McKay to follow up now. Tapping it nicely. Dexter bringing himself in position, looking for a cross. Dexter misses the cross. And Captain Panda looking to clean up and clear along the sidewall from the corner. Dexter takes it himself. He's not going to get there, and BJ Ace to clear as the goalkeeper now. Dexter gets demoed. Rex Tron, can he pull it out of the corner now for Hale School? He manages to do so, but can't set it up for Dean McKay in time. It's up into the corner now, tracking it along the backboard. It's out into space, along the sidewall now. Dexter looking, and Rex Tron picks it up. You can see the communication by this team. Dexter now with a nice little flick into the back of the net, and that is 5-1 with 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play. Hale leading Helena.
Yeah, I think we've lost one here. We haven't got Bailey on field, so it's momentarily 2-3, I believe. Yeah, so you can see in the chatter that we've lost Bailey, so at the moment taking the advantage. And Tim McKay off the kickoff.
That
Ouch.
was a rough
piece of play. The Mac attack. Downfield. Ouch. As it was with 3v3, this Hale school was dominating, let alone a 2v3. It's not going to be easy for them now. Dean McKay up the side wall. Hopefully they can get their third player back. You can even hear the chant in the background. They're chanting for him to come back, and Dexter, this is going to be an absolute rout. This is not what you want to see in competitive Rocket League. This is hard to watch.
I think he did come back, I'm not sure. 7-1 at the moment, you know what they call that?
What do they call that?
Brazil.
Brazil?
Yep.
Explain that to me.
It's an old meme.
You'll have to show me once we get into the next match.
Dish!
They had wide open. Dean McKay and Rextron both coming in for it and couldn't manage to snap it back into the back of the net. Up the side wall and through the corner, off the backboard. Can they look to follow up and finish here?
Dean McKay's done it!
Now they're just playing with them.
Oh, he's cheeky. He gets the flip though. 8-1 at the moment. Hale School, please stop.
47 seconds left to play in this first game at the best of 5. Hale versus Helena. Helena is your orange team. Hale's your blue. Captain Panda is going to do his best solo, but he's just sort of stopped there. It's almost like he's given up. And you can't blame him.
I want to get a slight tab on the scoreboard right now. I want to check out what's going on, see how far the... yeah, there we go. What is going on? I think
We've had an issue here completely. BJ Ace has left as well, and they've left Panda to do this by himself.
I don't know what's going on.
30 seconds left to play.
I'm calling a comeback here, Pete.
Calling a comeback?
Yeah, come back.
You're a brave man. 9-1 with 20 seconds left.
Yeah, so Panda's out, so...
And
at the moment,
Panda's gone as well.
This one's done.
10 seconds left to play. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As if to put an exclamation mark on exactly what has happened here. Dexter from Hale School, the captain of this team, has just laid it down. They've taken out the first match in this best of 5 series, which quite literally looks like we may not have a best of 5 series. What we're going to do is we're going to take a break. We're going to find out what's happened to Helena College here, and we'll come back on Flaktest twitch.tv/Flaktest. Back in a moment. Welcome back to twitch.tv/Flaktest. It's Pete here, joining commentary alongside Biza OCE, and we have some rough news.
Rough.
Real rough. Sorry, I got to make it entertaining. So, Hale School have won best of 5 by disqualification. So Helena, unfortunately, as you saw throughout that first match, Bailey disappeared. He was followed closely by BJ Ace, and then Captain Panda was like, well, what the hell, and decided he'd drop off as well. So we've given them 10 minutes to try and organise themselves and see if we can get them back. They have failed to reappear online, and as part of the Flaktest rules, that results in a disqualification and a forfeit of the match.
Rough.
So Hale win by forfeit.
What am I doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
So yes.
Shout out to Hale School, valiant effort, 10-1. Helena College, come on, guys. Come on.
We want to see some play.
Rough week. Their CSGO, they had a rough week too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Rough. Default, the 2 sweetest words in the English language. Now,
you're gonna have a rough go in Coventry for esports, mate,
aren't I? Help me, please. Okay, look, we're gonna move on from here. Unfortunately, that's going to be all for today. But we will be back next week with something massive, and that is our first international draw featuring our
Ooh.
Indonesian team. That's right. We have
Ooh.
a team from Indonesia who is part of the Flaktest High School esports
You
community.
beauty.
And clubs. Your beauty! Coming in. So they will be playing Overwatch next week. Our feature match of the week will be Overwatch.
I like it.
12 p.m. AWST. Make sure you join us for it at twitch.tv/Flaktest. Be here. But we do have a heap of other stuff coming up. Biza. Some really exciting things. We've just finished off our first community club event, which was the Minecraft Star Wars club event. Balladura won that.
All right.
And they
all
won
right.
themselves a streamlined server, 3-month streamlined server for Minecraft for their school, which is really cool.
Streamline doing good things. Like
very
always.
good things. Yep. Do you play much Hearthstone at
No,
all?
I don't.
You don't play a lot of Hearthstone. I
No.
love Hearthstone. We've got a Hearthstone 1v1 tournament coming up.
That's a good thing.
That's our next big community club event. So if you want to get your club involved, make sure you hit up play.flaktest.com to sign up for the actual club event. If you're not yet registered as a Flaktest High School Esports Club, head to flaktest.com/season 2018. All the information is there. As I mentioned, we'll be back next week, this time with Overwatch. And tomorrow, make sure you join us here on twitch.tv/Flaktest and also on YouTube and Facebook. At 10 a.m. AWST for round 4 of the Flaktest Weekly Patch, featuring all the latest news. And also, Jacob and I visited Nostalgia Box this week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you've been to Nostalgia Box, right?
Well, I haven't been there, but I've seen it.
So you haven't been to Nostalgia Box, you haven't played Hearthstone. What are you doing?
I live in a box.
You live in a box. Okay.
Not nostalgia,
So,
but in a box.
A Rocket League box.
Yeah, that's right.
This is very cool. Jacob's showing me off screen at the moment. He's showing me Hearthstone on his mobile phone.
That.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I should have just said yes for the fans at home. What do you? Don't be scrolling through his phone and showing pictures that you want to be showing. He's getting clicked.
Jacob.
Jacob.
All right. No. Have a great weekend. If you're in Perth, stay dry. If you're anywhere else and it's raining, stay dry.
Yeah, drive safe.
Drive safe.
That's
as
what
well.
we should be saying.
And don't forget to check into Gfinity, and you'll see this man in the coming weeks calling Rocket League, which is really exciting.
Yeah, exciting. And Conky too.
Conky.
Shout out to Conky out there.
Yeah, Mitch Concannon, he'll be doing CSGO for Gfinity as well, won't he?
That's exactly right.
That's awesome.
Awesome stuff.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us at twitch.tv/Flaktest on your Saturday. Thanks for spending it with us. Have a great weekend, and we will catch you next week.
Welcome back to the Flaktest Weekly Patch Round 4, powered by our mates at AOC. And that does it for another week.
It's gone, it's done, it's dusted.
We'll be back next week. Don't forget to check us out at twitch.tv/Flaktest at 12 o'clock AWST on your Saturday. Round 5 next week, and a big match. It's our first international draw.
It's the Indo boys.
Indonesia. I'm so excited to see this. It will be with Overwatch, and we'll be joined back on the couch again by our good mate Starwars. He's an absolute ripper player for Overwatch and also fantastic caster.
That's right, but don't forget, Pete, our Hearthstone 1v1 event is live right now at play.flaktest.com to sign up if you're a high school esports team for Flaktest. If you're not, jump on www.flaktest.com to sign up your school.
We've got games to play.
We have.
Bye.